Welcome to our LinkedIn Live. Samantha Kelly here with Dr. Ross Conroy.
Oh,
Hi, Ross.
hello. How you doing?
Good, thanks. And Ross is the head of research and development at the Algorithm People and now becoming Optimize. Ross, thanks a million for joining us. I know it's our
Hello.
first kind of LinkedIn Live. And yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself first.
Well, yeah, as you said, my name's Dr. Ross Conroy. I completed a PhD, finished that back in 2017 in artificial intelligence. Uh, it was modeling human behaviors mostly in the video game StarCraft. I can never play that game again, thanks to that. Worked in London for about 4 years and then took on a role as a KTP associate with Teesside University, which has now led on to me becoming head of research and development at the Algorithm People.
Well, congratulations, first of all, for that. Well done. Yeah. So that's it. So you're based in the UK
Yes.
and I'm in Ireland. Isn't technology wonderful?
Yeah.
And I know you're going to be talking a little bit about technology. Today we're going to be talking about how algorithms and AI will transform fleet planning. So yeah, first of all, for anyone that's watching that might be old school or maybe, not really techie, what is an algorithm or what does it mean?
So many years as a software engineer would tell me to say that it's what the word we would use and we don't want to explain to someone how we did something. But in reality, it's a series of steps and instructions towards achieving a goal.
Okay. Okay. Just for people that don't know, like some people don't know what an algorithm is.
Yeah.
So what is it about route optimization that makes it so difficult? Like, couldn't a powerful enough computer just crush through all the possible plans?
Yeah, I wish something like that actually existed in terms of compute wise, because I'd love to play some video games on a computer that powerful. But there's too many combinations and moving parts. So you quickly hit the point where there's so many variables and so many different routes that are possible that there could be more routes than there are atoms in the observable universe is sort of one metric that we quite often like to show off. And if a computer was to crunch through all those combinations, it would take like longer than the universe would exist for before you'd hit the right one. So
Really? So like for what so where do algorithms come into optimization then?
so it's as it's impossible to try every single combination, algorithms sort of give us some best effort type approaches towards finding these sort of best routes. So although you can't actually prove they're optimal because unless you try every single route, you can't prove something is optimal. But you can get a very good best effort of what appears to be nearly optimal.
And like for people watching, and welcome to the viewers who have tuned in. If you want to put a comment up, please do put it in the comments because we can see the chat and we can highlight your comment as well. So where does AI and machine learning play into optimization? Can't we just use algorithms?
So one of the things that having like hard set in stone algorithms are really good for what is sort of referred to as deterministic tasks. This is things like, like solving a Rubik's Cube or a Sudoku puzzle, where you're basically following a series of steps to get to the answer. This works well when the rules and every action that you take has a known output. So, you turn a Rubik's Cube a certain way, it's going to turn that certain way and nothing's going to influence that to be anything else. But in logistics, there's a lot more real world factors to take into account for that can have a big effect. It could be external factors like traffic, weather, vehicle breakdowns, even your driver habits. Whoever's got the heaviest right foot might have an impact.
Really?
And this is where,
okay.
So this is sort of an area where machine learning starts to make a big difference. Machine learning models, you can sort of train it on the data sets that you've got to generate more accurate plans that account for all these external factors.
Okay, so so for people who have big fleets, how will AI and machine learning transform fleets? Like like when you say fleets, do you mean like trucks and like groups of buses? Like what kind of thing?
Yeah, so mainly sort of trucks, vans, delivery fleets, pickups. Could be sort of service engineers, them sort of things. Sort of using a bit of machine learning and AI sort of to help improve these routes opens up for a few scenarios. So for one, driver habits could have an impact on your fuel usage or electricity usage if you've made the jump to electric vehicles. So for say you've got longer distances between stops, you may prefer a more fuel efficient driver to take that route. But say you've got shorter distances between stops, you might want someone who's a bit quicker to get more stops fitting in the same time frame.
And for the actual driver, like I'm just throwing this out there, someone that knows nothing about AI and nothing about machine learning, right? So I'm just throwing it out there. So what you're saying is like, so algorithms and AI will someone be able to say, well, actually, that driver Mick is actually much more when he drives, he's actually saving us much more money than John.
Yeah, that's one of the approaches you could potentially take
Yeah.
with machine learning. Yeah, you could start to look at sort of like a predicted versus actual route, and you start taking in things like telematics and GPS data into account.
All those big words. Oh my God. So there's so much to learn. But I mean, but basically at the end of the day, in English that I would understand, and maybe someone watching that might not be so familiar with this kind of stuff, like someone my age, basically, not young like like basically what you're saying is, that it's going to help them save money, help them save time. And then we have a question from the algorithm people. How will this technology work alongside humans? Or will it take over?
Yeah, this is always a question that comes up with AI. Everyone seems to think it's this big scary thing,
Terminator.
like Terminator, yeah, where it's going to take over and one day it's going to hit the magic button that destroys the world. Don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. But yeah, it works alongside humans. It's more to enhance the fleet manager's sort of job rather than to replace it. It's more, you still need that human in the loop to understand some of the nuances of the fleet management side of things. So, just to make sure things like there are routes that are possible, or you're not, say, giving one driver too much time, even though you can take into account all the various driving rules and regulations. You don't want, say, one driver being given all the jobs and you've got, like, say, 5 other drivers that are they're being sent out on one job to do or something silly like that.
Yeah.
So you still need that human in the loop to help along the way and to spot things and influence the technology.
And emotions can influence as well. Like, let's say, for example, one driver might be like a Liverpool supporter, and that match might be on that night and stuff like that. So you've got other factors coming into it as well. Brilliant. Okay. Well, look, thank you so much. It was just lovely to introduce Optimize and the algorithm people to my audience. And if anyone has any questions, definitely reach out to Dr. Ross Conroy, and he is the head of research and development. And I know that there's some exciting stuff happening. I know there is a launch happening. Isn't that right? We're going to meet at that, aren't we? The 13th of April?
Yes, 13th of April down in London. That's going to be a fun event where we're launching the new brand and everything. Yeah, looking forward to it. And I'm looking forward to meeting people there as well and answering questions in person.
We actually have a question from John. Actually, presume you'd report poor economy drivers as a management information tool. Will you analyze load and unload times?
So that might be more of a question for an upcoming live that's going.
Yeah, we actually have a live that's going to answer those questions, John.
Yeah,
which will be next week at 1 p.m. Colin, yeah. But it's a great question, and definitely the algorithm people, I'll get them to answer that for you. They are actually in the chat, so maybe they can answer that for you in the meantime. But definitely, John, yes, it's very interesting times. It's like, it's all about making it easier and it's just so much to learn. And I think it's scary a little bit too, Ross, and that's why I like the fact that we're meeting in London. And if you haven't got an invitation in the post, by the way, the 13th of April is the launch of the new branding Optimize. So, if you haven't got an invitation, do get in touch with us and just message the algorithm people there, or if you just go to the website, I can throw it in here now for you if you want to have a look. So the Optimize launches on the 13th of April. Definitely next week we're going to be talking to Colin, who is Colin Ferguson. He's the CEO of Optimize and the algorithm people. So we will be asking all those kind of questions. So please do come along and check it out. I'll put the link up soon. So go to the website, the algorithm people and reach out and we will answer any questions for you. And Ross, thank you so much. I know you were kind of put on the spot because we're talking about AI and all the stuff you love to talk about. That's your world. And I'm like, I don't know what he's talking about. But it's really nice to meet you and you've been really good. So I look forward to seeing you next week.
Awesome.
Okay. Bye. Bye,
Until
everybody.
next one.
Thanks.